Good evening, my friends. Welcome to Hilbert's Laboratory, the Ghost Story Room. Talking about Shanghai, it seems that everyone has the impression that Shanghai is a city that never sleeps. It is crowded with people during the day and brightly lit at night. However, friends from all over the world do not know that many horrific supernatural events have actually happened in Shanghai. Today I will introduce to you this supernatural event. The incident was the Vampire Incident in Pudong, Shanghai, in 1995. According to the description of the parties involved, the following is told in the first person. In 1995, there was a vampire incident in Pudong, which caused a storm in the city. I was in 5th grade at the time, and there was a big commotion. It seemed to have happened in Nanhui and Liuzhou. It was said that several patients in the mental hospital suddenly went crazy, their fingernails grew long, and they liked human blood. They hid in the darkness of the toilet and attacked people, but later the matter dropped for unknown reasons. As for what exactly caused this change, I don't know, and no authoritative person has come forward to explain it. Later, some people said that Yanggao Road was under construction at that time, and they said that many vampires were sucking human blood there, and that Jingdong Park also reduced its ticket prices because of encounters with vampires. This incident was also broadcast on Oriental 110 News at the time. I don't know exactly what it was like. I was still very young at that time, and I wasn't in Pudong. I went there later when I was in high school. It seems that it was because the senior who told me about this incident met the old woman at that time. She said that at that time everything in front of her suddenly turned into black and white, and she screamed, but her cousin who was beside her didn't see anything. Because of this, she became seriously ill, and others thought she was crazy. The doctor at the pediatric hospital asked her to go to a psychiatric hospital. The examination results at the psychiatric hospital showed that everything was normal. Later, in desperation, her parents found a wizard-like person to treat her. The senior sister regained her normal consciousness after doing the practice at home. After my own research, I found that there are many different versions of the Shanghai Vampire Incident in 1995. However, the two most popular versions of the Shanghai Vampire Incident are that of a vampire researcher and a vampire old woman. The first version seemed relatively scientific. It was said that a doctor who returned from Germany failed an experiment at a biochemical institute in the suburbs of Shanghai, causing his body to mutate. As a result, he had to drink blood every day to survive. In order to arrest it, 2 police officers were sacrificed. What the 2 dead men had in common was that they were all drained of blood. This vampire incident caused panic. A column on Shanghai TV once broadcast the incident, but later apologized to the public. Later, the official came out to refute the rumor. It is difficult to tell whether it is true or false. The second version is the vampire old woman. I believe that many children born in the 1980s have heard of this weird event at one time or another. Some people may still feel scared when they think about it now. The widely circulated version at the time was that in a hotel in Shanghai, 2 girls were staying in the hotel. One of the girls went to the toilet. The friend waited for her for a long time but didn't see her back, so he went to the toilet to see if she was out. "What's going on?" I walked into the toilet, and was surprised to see an old woman walking out in red clothes. She looked a bit weird. When I walked in, I found the girl lying flat and bloodless on the ground. There were 2 teeth marks on her neck, and this was just one at first. I heard one after another that several girl corpses were found in many other places in Shanghai. And there was also no trace of blood in the body. Later, I found netizens in Shanghai and asked them about the 1995 Shanghai Pudong Vampire Incident. The netizen told me that almost many people in Shanghai had heard of the Pudong Vampire Incident at the time. There was such a big fuss in Shanghai that even Dongfang 110 reported on it at the time, but later apologized to the public. Subsequently, the official newspapers, radio and television stations all refuted the rumors with the same tone. All in all, it made people panic. When walking on the road, they were afraid that a vampire would come up and bite their necks off. Even now, older people still talk about it after meals and tea. However, there are actually many doubts about this matter. It is not very realistic to say that he is a vampire. At that time, many police officers were patrolling the entire city, causing panic among the general public. However, Oriental TV's Oriental 110 column gave an official explanation that it was not actually the so-called vampires who were causing trouble. Maybe someone was indeed sucked by blood at that time, but it was not caused by a vampire, but by a serial killer. He had a special hobby and liked to suck blood, which makes sense. In order not to cause panic among the public, the police did not provide too many explanations on this matter. The above is the information I compiled for you about the 1995 Shanghai Pudong Vampire Incident. Because it is so old, I can only rely on various scattered information to slowly dig it out. As for whether the Shanghai Pudong Vampire Incident is true or false, I believe you can decide for yourself. We'll discern the truth.